Hello. This week I want to start by honoring all our men and women in the armed services. For all of you in uniform, whether you have served or continue to serve, please know how grateful we are for your sacrifice and your family's sacrifice. This Veterans Day, we honor you. We want you home. We want a period of time when peace will be with us. But until then, know that our gratitude remains with you and will always be. Today I also want to talk to you about November 15th, which many of you may not know is National Philanthropy Day. Now, when you think of philanthropy, sometimes you think of those big guys, Warren Buffett, others with lots of money that are giving selflessly to make sure that we can do so much. But actually, philanthropy comes in all ways, shapes, and sizes, and all of you have stepped forward. In our own house, our own foundation, stepped forward and put up $1 million. And nowhere have we seen this more than during this time of COVID, when people have limited access to the food they need. And so when Joanne Deckert-Burns from the Child Family Center in Millville reached out to us and said, listen, our families don't have access to food. We started out with 10, and today we already have 300 families during October that have received food from the Child Family Center. That means 1,500 people, because of our support and support of people like you, have made sure that those people could access food. And I always say to you that no more clear is how important these things are is with the voice of the patient. And in this case, it's the voice of the person who actually came forward to get the food for her family. So this grandmother said, look, all of a sudden, here I am with only Social Security and an entire family to feed with my grandchildren. And if I didn't have access to this, I don't know what I'd do. That type of fear, that type of ability for us to partner with other community-based systems to be able to ensure that people have what they need. Whatever we can do during these times are critical, because we know that people can't take care of themselves from their health-wise if they're not doing the basics around food. In the nonprofit community in the United States, over $449 billion is spent in philanthropy and raised in philanthropy. And when you think about that, you think about, do my dollars really matter? And let me tell you, being one of those nonprofits and a foundation that absolutely needs every dollar, it certainly matters. It matters because it allows us to do things like we did in Millville. It allows us to continue to push ourselves to make sure that we have access to care and think about things that are big and bold, like the Frank and Edith Scarpa Cancer Center right here in our community in Vineland, and all of those other things that every dollar allows us to do. And I would be remiss if I didn't take a moment to say just how grateful our staff were for the dinners and food that you provided to our staff during the COVID crisis. We know we're not done yet, and we know it's through the foundation team and through each of you that we're able to move forward successfully. And I just want you to know how important that is. So today, as we thank you for your continued commitment, thank our foundation staff for everything that they do, please know our employees stand ready to face this second surge and whatever else is brought before us, because we know that you're there with us. Thank you so much, and until we meet again, stay safe and be well.